Hi, Ashley.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so good. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Oh my God, are you ever amazing in this series? Like, I don't even know where you went in your head to start playing Hazel, but I want to start by asking, was the book on your radar before you even got the job? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Actually, it wasn't. I had heard the title of the book. I didn't know it was a book. I had heard about it through a friend several months prior. And then the day that I got the audition, I actually walked into a bookstore in my neighborhood that I had never been into. I've been walking by it for 2 years, never walked in. And I set foot in it, and it's a tiny bookstore. And on the table, right in front of the door, was the book, The Other Black Girl.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, all right. And
Yeah.
actually, in that moment, I even, and before I saw the book, I didn't even realize that it was a book until that moment. I just knew I had the audition for this new show.
Wow. Oh my God. So it
Yeah.
was meant to be. I mean, it was really meant to be
Yes,
for
it
you.
was.
Okay. So you then I gather you would, picked up the book and read it, but I wanted to know what your initial reaction was about Hazel. Like she's so complicated, and
Mm.
it's such a juicy role. There's a lot of places you need to go, my dear, in this character. And like, do we like her? Do we hate her? Like, what was your reaction to her?
It was that, it was very much so that, I like her, I hate her, what is she really up to? Why would you do that? And then it's like, oh, I see why you did that. No, she's not. I really went through making the show as describing her as a circumstantial antagonist. I don't
Okay.
think that if certain things happened the way that they did, she would have had to be as nefarious as she is. So, but you can't change what her life has been.
For
And so I
sure.
just have to find a way to justify why she's doing what she's doing. And in
Right.
my opinion, I feel like Hazel is a very lonely person. Even though she's very strong and smart and determined and successful, she really is alone until
Yeah.
she meets Nella, which I think is what creates that dynamic shift in the way that she befriends her, because
Right.
I don't think she's ever really had a real friend in a long time until she meets someone who wants to do something for her.
Right. But tell me a little bit about working with Sinclair Danielle, who plays Nella, because it is a complicated relationship. I wanted to know, clearly you guys probably just met when you were doing this role and
Yeah.
how you kind of established the relationship. And then I don't want to give anything away because I want people to, to experience this as I did, but it's complicated, dear.
Yeah. It was easy. Sinclair and I didn't know each other before we got the show, and she's a very, very easy person to get on with. She's so funny. Sinclair is funny. She cracks me up all the time. Like it just, and then when she does these little dances, like she just tickles my soul. I love it. Um, and so it was very easy to bring very much so like all of this energy into the work that we did.
Yeah.
That also made it very painful for me to do the things that Hazel had to do. I also
Right.
had never played a character like this before. I'd never played, an antagonist. And uh, because I had bonded so quickly and so deeply with Sinclair, there were times where I had to do things that Hazel did in the scene, and then when they yelled cut, like I was shaking and I started crying and I asked her if I
Yeah.
could hug her because I just felt so bad. Like I completely forgot where I was when I saw Sinclair's reaction as Nella in the scene. Like I was like, oh my God, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Even though she's like, girl, we're at
Yeah.
work. It's
Right.
okay. It was all a very new experience for me, and so much of it touched me because of the relationship that I was building with Sinclair.
Absolutely. And the book as the show obviously raises some, very interesting questions about our character, judgment that, decisions we have to make. How much of yourself are you willing to sacrifice for success?
Mm.
I mean, I'm hoping that you've never personally been in that kind of a situation where, but it really makes you think, right? Like, I guess do we
Yeah.
do what we need to have to do to get to the top? Like, do we, you know, how did it stir up emotions in you, Ashleigh?
You know, I mean, that is a very good question. It stirred up so much emotion in me, particularly over Hazel. I I want so desperately to protect her, to validate her, to make it very clear that she's not a villain,
Yeah,
but I can't erase the choices that she's made. But then when you see the position that she was put in, the two choices that she was given, either continue down this path or take this detour with someone who is telling you that they're going to take care of you and they're going to provide for you, when in fact it might not end up actually being that way.
yeah,
And I it made me so fiercely like defensive over her. And it also was like, Nella, girl, wake up. Do you not see that something ain't right? Like I had a lot of emotions when I was watching the show. I also really love the fact, I love the portrayed relationship between Nella and I always keep wanting to call him Hunter. Even though that is his real name, I always be wanting to call Hunter his character's name, like you're just Hunter.
oh, of course.
Their relationship is so sweet. It's
Yeah,
so sweet. It's so funny. It's so honest. And I love the way that they fight. The thing that
right,
I really enjoyed is when he was questioning her, about why she's changing, why she seems different, Nella. And, he says something. What does he say? He said, "Why don't you sing anymore?"
right.
And she's like, "What?" It was so endearing and darling. And for me, it was watching a true love and support between partners, that even though you can have a disagreement and they cannot be hearing you,
Yeah.
that you gotta disarm each other so that you can meet each other where you are and actually fix it. I loved their performance together.
Yeah, everybody in this show is fabulous, and as you are, and I know you are clearly going places, like no question. People need to see the show if they haven't started watching it. And here in Canada, we get it on Disney Plus because we don't get Hulu, but we get all the same stuff, so it's all good. But I quickly just, anything else that we need to look out from you? Are you going to be doing anything that we want to see you in? Because as you are amazing in this, I'm sure you've got other things coming too.
Well, we've been on strike for a long time and we're only just now coming
Yes.
out of it. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that once things start rolling, that there will be, more fruitful opportunities that come my way. I hope that the first one is the second season of this, because
Yes,
I would
I was going to ask. Yeah. Yeah, fingers
again.
crossed, because I want to see where these characters
Yeah.
go.
Same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, congratulations. Like I said, you're just extraordinary in this. And it's really a pleasure having the opportunity to talk to you this morning. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ashleigh. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.